Yes, we're FJTV. Took me a sec there, I don't know if this is recording, but it's just going to be a quick one, probably one of the self-improvement vlogs. I was initially thinking to do maybe a part 3 to the Awaken the Warrior Within. Shameless plug, go check that out, part 1 and 2, obviously on the channel. As you can see, I'm in nature. When I talk about doing the yoga pose I talk about and the meditation, certain breath work, and I've said I've done it, stood in a collection of branches, that's there right behind me, yeah. So imagine, like I said, stood in the middle of that, doing the breath work, feeling the psychedelic effects that, like I said, the natural DMT production, alongside however you wanted to articulate it. The way I always say it, as in what it feels like from this POV, is almost like I'm unplugging and plugging back into the Matrix. Obviously when I do that movement like Neo in the Matrix film with the thing in the back of his head on the Nebuchadnezzar ship. I hope the wind isn't too loud on the video. But for the purpose of this one, I don't know, man. Like I'm saying, could be one of the self-improvement vlogs when I just load up the camera and I just start speaking from the heart, spitting off the dome, if you like. And then once I get on a certain train of thought, I've made some content, yeah. Same like I said, in recent times, it's like almost, it's been like this for a while, but it seems like every single day I'm like hyper aware of every little, micro movement I do, down to literally the millisecond almost. After the times where I can like flick my brain off if I'm, going somewhere, whatever. But same way. Sorry if I keep doing that, but my ears popped from doing the breath work outside, but it's all good anyway. But same like I'm saying, the purpose of these videos, as always, like most of you know, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, the current 59 subscribers. Funny enough, when I look at older content, Samuel, I've made a video stood pretty much in this exact spot, probably about a year ago to be fair. That's shameless plug on my Patreon, £5 a month, supports the channel, access to the old content. As I build the channel more and more, eventually there'll be probably different tiers where maybe I talk about slightly different things, whatever. Ultimately though, like I always say, man, I ain't trying to take no one's hard-earned money away from them. I understand how it is on a human level as a man in this Matrix simulation. But the same way I said in videos obviously on the channel in recent times, immortal souls as masculine men in a Matrix simulation, and obviously what I talked about in that one, but empathising and understanding, bro, I get it. Sometimes it's like, okay, cool, I'm on this spiritual journey, I understand I'm an immortal soul in this avatar, in this simulation, for my soul's evolution and growth and all the experiences that come along with it, the ups and downs. Let's be honest, it's majority the negative situations we learn from. And like I've said in the past, obviously I've only got one hand, but take 2 L's, that's a dub, yeah. But same like I'm saying, man, obviously the positive experiences are great within the simulation. We really could create heaven on earth, if you want to use that phrase. But we know Wagwan and we know what's going on in here. We know about the AI, artificial intelligence, the agent Smiths, the Matrix itself, the system, again, whatever mouth noise you need to use or hear to understand what I'm articulating about. But Sam, like I said, current 59 subscribers. It's easy for me to feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but as the channel slowly grows and grows, and I suppose the choir grows bigger and bigger, my fellow brothers and sisters, but let's be honest, majority of the brothers, especially when I'm talking about semen retention, which I'll get onto in a second, because as I said, I don't want this to be just like a semen retention channel and I'm just another talking head saying pretty much the same things every other video, which again, no shade, but I see it out there and obviously I can listen to what other people have got to say, specifically when they're talking about SR and obviously, the Matrix and brrr. But ultimately, like I always say, man, I can probably count on one hand the people whose content I can literally actually sit through, digest and take on board for a couple of reasons. But the main one is, you could call it confirmation bias, because I'm self-aware, but when I'm hearing people speak about the things that I know I understand, or what I think I know I understand, well, you get what I'm saying with that. Same way, we're like almost 5 minutes in. I'm not going to do a long one, hence why it's probably a self-improvement vlog. Got training to go and do in a bit. In the air of honesty, I've had, technically today included would be 8 days no training, even though I've done, what I don't consider training or hard exercise, but still activity, getting out of the house, what can feel like a prison cell at times if you're sat in your bedroom, whatever. So like I said, bro, this time last year, I just kept saying to myself, bro, I can't just be, as much as I'm meditating, as much as I'm on the spiritual stuff, as much as I'm trying to do this and this and this and this and this, and I feel like it's almost like the Matrix is literally lurking at the windows of my house, like outside the door. Not again on no schizophrenic level, but literally on the sense of, I knew what it was back then, and I didn't even like speaking negatively, so I'm not even going to open that can of worms. But my point being, like I said, from last year, all of 2023, just reminding myself, almost like I am a shaman, but I suppose you could say I really am one in one sense of the word. That I'm just going through this experience to learn for the wisdom, like I said, not because Josh, this physical avatar you see before you're talking on camera, is so elevated and spiritually inclined, but because I'm saying this soul within is trying to project outwards and gather the knowledge to digest. So operating within this vehicle and this vessel, I can maneuver in this matrix as best as possible. And like I always say, bro, from a place as the sun starts shining a bit better. Really hope no one gets too close and interrupts my video, but it's all good because I'm in a little bit of a secluded spot. But anyway, like I was saying, with the semen retention, again, having to go through certain things, having to do the shadow work, if you want to call it that. But really, like I always say, bro, just looking in the mirror and really being honest with yourself. When the camera's off, there's no one around, there's no one that you talk, it's literally just you and your own mind, your own thoughts. And how can I best put it? That there is complete honesty, because when you are literally sat here, again, in the meditation, if you like, but just in your own mind, in your own thoughts, understanding, you know what your life's been like, you know what you've been through, you know what you've experienced, but then you understand the knowledge you've gained along the way, and you understand the reality you are projecting outwards in real time, but also the reality you want to be projecting out to experience. And obviously, as I said, the ups and the downs, of course, we want to create the reality we want to be living in, which will be, ideally with mainly ups. Obviously, there's going to be ups and downs, but mainly we're up here rather than being down here. And you get what I'm saying? I apologise, I keep having to, try and click my jaw and pop my ear, because it's almost like I've stepped off an aeroplane, but it's all good, we keep it moving either way. But as I'm saying, as I'm almost 10 minutes in, like I said, in recent times, I don't believe in speaking negativity and speaking negatively. The same way, brother, I had one of my friends keep phoning me in recent times. I thought I touched on it in my part 2 of the Awaken the Warrior Within. But the same way, in that video, I said I don't want to be talking about the negativities, so I'm not going to divulge in what's going on in my personal life in that respect. But as I'm saying, I've got someone who keeps trying to phone me, who keeps trying to talk about specific things, and again, without going too deep in it, just I said to one of my other boys, I'm like, am I crazy? Because I'm thinking, brother, I know the conversation that's going to happen, so that I know, again, like I said, the conversation and what's going to be drawn out of me, and the way I understand everything around me. Like I said, brother, I don't want to be having these negative conversations, but I get it, so it's all good. And spoke to said person, it's all good, because like I remind myself, and I come from a place of love, and I do my best to articulate myself as plain, clearly and concise as possible, even for, like I said, someone who, how can I best put it, you could have someone with the most asleep, unconscious, not that this person was, but and you can still have that conversation with them. I'm almost 10 minutes in, I might leave it there, because this was might seem like, excuse me, random words and rambling, pardon me. This is what it's about, brother. When you get out there in nature, you really do feel it for what it is. And as I'm saying, we're doing the breath work, stuff I stumbled on by accident, by virtue of, like I said, like a shaman, like the crazy wise man. Obviously, I know it's a not a double negative, but that's an oxymoron. But you get what I'm saying, bruv. Like the shaman that I am with certain things. I feel like I backed myself in the corner because I was saying something and then I stumbled myself because another thought crossed my mind. But basically, like I said, doing certain breath work and the meditation, all the things that I understand are positive for this experience, and it just gives you that clarity on a daily basis. I can't even clip my fingers properly. Then we'll leave the video there. This might just be really, really random waffling and empty words, but at the end of the day, like I always say, man, content is content. When I do the channel purges, if certain videos I'm like, that one can get deleted. Certain shorts I've chopped up from it, I'm like, those are alright, so we'll just privatise the video, put it on the Patreon. Like I said, if someone wants to support the channel, put their hard-earned money in my pocket to simply, like I said, support the channel, and then you get access to the older videos. Then I appreciate it. It's nothing but love either way. And then you can see the journey for what it is from FJTV in this perspective, and the linear time as we experience it. As much as we know time is an illusion, all of that, but it's all good. I'll probably leave the video there. As always, man, start, stand your purpose, let's go. Like I say, man, get into nature, just breathe. Whatever you got going on in here, remind yourself who the fuck you are. Like I always say, man, like I say with awakening, the warrior within, understanding I'm an immortal soul in a male vessel, in a simulated reality. None of this is real, but while I'm here, and while I'm a man, or while I'm wearing a physical avatar that is a male vessel and this immortal soul within, and I'm going to do this, or I'm going to live this life, and I'm going to do whatever I got to do to create the best possible reality for myself for the experience, knowing that I get to leave when this physical avatar expires, or whatever ever happens out externally, and then we'll go from there. As always, man, start, stand your purpose. I apologise, this was just a bit weird and rambly, but content's content. We'll keep it moving. Time to go train. That's what I was going to say. I had like 8 days off, but it's all good. Life circumstances, like I said, I'm not going to speak negatively. It is what it is. We keep it stepping, we keep it moving, we do what we've got to do either way. It's all good, yeah. Stay up.